Hi everyone, welcome to BumbleBeeCrafts. Thanks for tuning in to another video from me. Happy Monday, start of a new creative week. I'm carrying on today with my garden story journal, part of my design team project for BumbleBeeCrafts, using the wonderful kits that were from the current collaboration hashtag journal jigsaw, which has guest designer Angela Kerr. She worked alongside BumbleBeeCrafts to design some gorgeous papers. So I hope you've been following along and checking out the collaboration. You guys have still got a few more days to wait before my video comes out, so I'm getting ahead with the journal now, and then I'll carry on and we'll carry on working on this journal from start to finish. So last week I showed you how I turned the cereal box into the base of our cover, journal cover. We covered it in the brown paper first, just in case any of the bright patterning on the front showed through. Then we covered it in the fabric. I went ahead and done one, didn't have enough time to do the second one, but I finished the second one off camera, and I've also stitched around it as well. I like that look. You don't need to in terms of holding it securely. The Fabri-Tac glue that we've used is really nice and secure, but I like the look, and my style for my collaboration video is rustic and grungy, so that's how I'm making these two journals, in a rustic and grungy kind of feel to it. Excuse me. So in today's video, what I want to do is transform this second journal cover into what I've done with this one here. We've got a lovely little button and elastic closure on here. I'll show you how I've done that. And then we open it up and we've got our flip out here. Now I do have a video on my flippy flappy, I call them flippy flappy journal covers. I is it journal making 101 series, where we did the cover and I showed you how I did it. It was a smaller, I think it was a 2 signature spine, so a 1-inch spine, so much smaller, and we had flip flaps coming, so this would flip out, flip up, and lots of different ones, and then we had some ribbon to closure. I'll leave the link to those below. I'm not going to spend too much detail on how I do the flippy flaps because I've got that other video, but I will still show you basically how I do it. So I've made a board to go on the inside here. We've got a belly band here for you to tuck something under, and then this is a pocket here as well, and that flips over, and I've just decorated that up. And as I'm doing rustic and grungy, and this is a bit of a preview of what's to come from my collaboration video, I'm going to be using these sticks. These were from when I pruned my cherry blossom tree in the garden, and this is some florist moss that I've just used so that it gives it that kind of grungy feel to it. It's gorgeous. I really am pleased with how well that's turned out. And then if you remember, we used the natural fold in the cereal box. My brain went a minute there, to create a little flap over, and I've left this really long because I'm not sure what I'm putting on the end of it and how long I need it, so we'll cut some of this off later on when we finish the journal. But this was the gusseted pocket that I've made, so you've got a really nice big space in there. I've still put a board on here, and I've created the flap so that you've got that flap. This flap is the envelope cover, and I wanted to cover that in fabric as well. I'm really pleased with how that turned out. I might still do some more decorating on it, but we can do that at a later date. I just want to get the basis of it all done, and then that closes up, as I said, with a little bit of elastic, which will go around the button. Put it there, and you've got your holds your journal together. It's elasticated, so you can have quite a bit of space, and I use my hot glue gun, and so that's really, really strong there. So that's what I want to get to today with this second one here. So these are the papers that I'm going to be using. Move them to the side. That's my bit of fabric to cover the flap. These, I'm going to be using these on the front. This bit's going to go along the spine, but I won't need to stick that on until we've sewn the signatures in. And then I'm not sure whether I'm going to do a journal topper or just have it as a little what do you call those little book plates? That's it, book plates on there. So this is where we're at. If I just reposition these, we need to create our flip flaps in the journal here. So we need to get from here, which is the open journal, to this. So in my flip flap video that I showed you in detail how I do these, I'll just quickly explain. The journal height, where is my little piece of paper? Here it is. The journal height is about 8.5, and each little flap bit here is about 6.5. So I've got a bit of card here that is 8 tall by 6 inches wide, and that is the perfect fit for going on here and creating our little board. So that gets created into that. For our little flap, all I do is just make it slightly shorter, as you can see, so you get a bit of an edge of the card all the way around, but you do need to make sure you have a little flap, and this flap is what gets stuck down behind here, and then that all gets stuck down, so it makes it nice and secure. And this time round, rather than having flip ups this way and that way, because there's going to be a lot going on in this journal anyway, I've just done a belly band. And it literally is the same height, 8 inches tall, and this measures 2.25, and we can cover that, and that forms our front panel. The back panel, do you remember we did in last week's video, we did these. I went ahead and glued them so that I could sew all the way around here as well, but these will flap in, tuck down, and that creates your pocket. So for in here, I've done exactly the same measurements for this board, which is 8 by 6 inches. And then I've just created a bit of a flap here, and I've just cut the edges so that it looks like an envelope top, so that that will go over here. And then I've got all the little bits that I need here for doing the little brads and the little tie closures, which is what we're going to be coming on to next, because we need to do our closure before we put the rest of the journal together. So I'm going to move those out of the way. I created a spine template. How I do that is I've just measured so it sits nicely in the crease, and that is 2 inches. So the spine from the outside is just over 2 inches. The spine on the inside is 2. And as you can see, I've divided it up, found the middle, and then I divided this bit by half and this bit by half, and that is where I'm going to be punching in the signatures, and then I can lay that on here, punch away, and then when we come to do the signatures, I will just put, let me just do that now, a little arrow here, and I know that I butt that up against the inside of my signature, which we'll come to. I'll show you how I'm going to do it. It's going to be I always find two or three plus signatures quite tricky to put in, so I will explain this all again when I come to do that. So that's that bit, and this is what's going to cover this section up, because you can have a board here and a board here. I normally like to put a bit of material here, and I just thought, as we're having Hessian on the spine, I would put Hessian on the inside of the spine as well, just to help keep that rustic, grungy garden feel to it. So what I need to do, how I created, if I show you in here, you're not going to be able to see now because it's been covered up, but under here is where we've got this coming through on the outside. It doesn't, we do this bit separately, but this bit is what we need to create. So my chomper isn't going to be able to go through what I call, not my chomper, the hole puncher, memory keeper one. It's not going to fit. If you've got a hole punch that fits and will do nice small little holes, then that's a great way, you can use that. But I needed to get round the fact that, how do I make a hole here? So first things first, if I turn it this way, I want to measure this and find the center. That way I know I've got my little eyelet right in the middle. Now it's about 8 3/4. So I think I worked that out, didn't I, at 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 6/8 is my center. Now I'm just going to do that another dot a bit further up as well. Get that straight. There we go. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There. And I'm just going to draw a line. You won't see this at all. Okay. So we need to get these bits. Now this is, let's see, how long is this piece? It's about 8.5 inches long. And basically how I worked out how long I needed to, a piece I needed was, I used the spine. This will stay up. I know, it folded this in half, so I had to it like this. And basically I needed to make sure that that was going to cover the spine. So you've got a bit of overlap here, and you've got this where it tucks in, and then there's a bit of tight tension. That way it's going to hold it nice and secure, because I know my journal is not going to lay like that. It's probably going to be a bit of an alligator mouth. So that's how I measured and got my measurement. Nothing, you know, technical about it. You just, whatever size spine you're doing, you can just do that same measurement and know how much you need. Okay. So I need a little brad, and I don't think I've got any of these prepared. No, I haven't. A little brad, I need a little eyelet. Now these are 1 inch, aren't they? Yeah, 1 inch circle punch, and I will need 3 of those glued together for this. And then, did I put, how many did I put? I think I put 2 together on the other one. Let me just make sure that's going on the inside. 1, 2, 3 for that one. I've got one made already. Look, there we go. I thought I had it. It's 3 stuck together, basically 3 of these, and we'll glue them together, and then 1 to cover it up on the inside. Okay, so I am just going to eyeball where I think the center is and just put a little dot. Yeah, there we go. Use the very small hole. What's this one? Don't know. but the tiny hole on here, and just, if I can see it in this light, I just angle the blinds. I need a bit more light down on the desk. There we go. I can see my dot now. There we go. So that's going there, and then no, it does need to be the bigger one. Fair enough. Where'd it go? There it is. It won't need to be fit. Okay. And then I'll just squash that down. There we go. Lovely. Bit of ink, because I do got to remember to ink as I go. This bit of ink around here. Okay, so that's that bit ready. That doesn't need inking because it's going to get hidden with our little board that goes in here. So now I need to decide how far in I'm going to come, and looking at this one, I was about 3/4 of an inch. Which is about there. Now, as I don't have a hole punch to be able to make this hole to push this through, I'm going to use my bookbinding brad to start with and just push a little hole through, just a little one like that, and then from this side I'm going to come in and I'm going to push my brad all the way down so that it makes a nice big hole. Now that still is not big enough really for this bit, because you're folding it in half to push this through. So I found that these are my little jewelry snippers. This bit goes wider, so I'm going to do that from the outside, pushing down, and push that in, and that makes a much bigger hole. Then from the inside, you're not going to see that, so you don't need to worry. I try and get this straight and then push this through. It can be a bit tricky, especially to get it through the fabric, because I don't want to cut a hole in the fabric. I'm just pushing a hole in. But this is where I will use this just to kind of go underneath and hook up. Let's see if I can do it this way. It can be a bit fiddly. Oops. Come on. There we go, that's going to go that way. It will come, you just have to it's going to prove me wrong now, isn't it? This one. The other one came through quite easily. Here we go, we're on, we're through. There we go. So all I then do is pull that through, leaving just a little bit through here. Just switch my hot glue gun on, because I want to glue these down nice and secure. Now let's just make sure when we have that on there, that's going to work. That's fine. That's the perfect amount. Okay. So I'm just waiting for my glue gun to warm up. Now I've I chose to use glue gun for this because I need something to be quite quick to adhere, and obviously very strong. Fabri-Tac glue may well work, but you would need to hold these down for a length of time, and I didn't want to do that. I wanted something that as soon as I pushed it into it, it was glued tight. So while we're waiting, how's everybody doing? I hope you're all doing well. Several of you have commented how you're looking forward to seeing how this journal is going to grow and come together. So yeah, I hope you're going to enjoy the series. I certainly am enjoying it. It is testing me and pushing me with finding different ways of trying to do this instead of just putting a hole in here and putting a little eyelet through, which I could have easily have done had I not had this flap on there. But I often don't make things easy for myself. So, come on, I'm still waiting for it to warm up. Okay. I think what I might do while I'm waiting for that to warm up is we can glue this in place. I'll just leave that all there for the moment. And using Fabri-Tac glue, I am just going to glue this in place. I got a bit of a blockage on the end there by the looks. There we go. There we go. The problem is the hessian is so fibrous, it's leaving fibres everywhere. Okay, we can touch up with the glue afterwards. So let's just position this where we think that's about right. Let's move it down. Like so. Now we got, yeah, we seem to have got right to the edge. That's nice. Okay, let's just clean the top of this. I can now start to see glue coming out of the nozzle of my glue gun, so I'm guessing it's getting hot enough. Still, I can still touch it, so it's not that hot. So there, I would leave that completely to dry flat like that for a little while, which we will do. So let's bring in the glue gun. Just going to wipe off that little bit, and then I'm just going to do a little line across here and push this into it. Oh, it's going to be a bit messy. Do be careful if you do use glue gun because it's hot. And messy. I do prefer my Fabri-Tac. I can control it a bit easier than glue gun, but I want that to be properly secure. So what I'm also going to do now is put some glue on here, and this is going to tuck right over the top of there, and I'll push that down. I want that to really hold there. Let's get rid of that excess glue. You won't see this, so to be honest, it doesn't really matter how messy a job you do, as long as there's enough glue on here to stop that coming open. There we go. That is going to be really, really nice and secure. So from this side, this is what we've got, which is why we've done this, because I'm just going to thread this through, and that is going to be glued onto here, so it looks like this one, nice and neat and nice and secure from the outside. As I said, if you hadn't had the flap, you could cut this hole directly, brad it and do everything that way, but I haven't, so move that. I'm just going to put a bit of glue around here like so, push that down and make a nice seal. Make sure that's all pushed down. There, doesn't take long to adhere, that's virtually dry now. So that is, let's just see if this will bend up a little bit for me. That is our first half of our tie. Okay, brilliant. So now we need to do exactly the same measurement this side so that we can do our button. So let's switch my hot glue gun off. I don't need that for this. Okay, so I'm pretty sure this is going to measure the same. Yes, it is. So I need to do 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I'm going to come a little way in so that I get a good line to work with. Where are we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's just do a line. You will not see this at all because our board covers that up and will cover this up as well, but you do have to do this before we put those boards and everything in place. Okay, so I need to decide how far in I want the button. And how far in did we go? Yeah, with this one it was only a little way in from the front, so I can gauge that from this side. And what I'm trying to do is have the line across the middle like that, so that the two holes are above, 2 holes are below the line. So I do apologise if my head comes in here, but I really do need to see what I'm doing because I want it to be straight. Okay, so we're about there, and I'm just going to do some holes. Now I can just about see them from here. So we do 1, where's the other one? 2, 3, 4. Okay, oops, throwing my brat across the room. Now I come from this side, and again I can see them from this side. I'm holding it up to the light so that I can see the light through it, and I'm just going to push, but I'm only going to go halfway down the brad because I don't want it to be too big a hole, but I need it to be big enough that I can put my needle and thread through. Okay, so that's where our button is going to be sewn on. Let's make sure we get it up the right way, because I think this does have a direction, doesn't it? I think, looking at the butterflies, it's that way. So where's my needle? Needle and a thread. Where are we? It's all come unravelled. You can use any thread. This is some floss, quite thick floss, and I'm just going to cut it there, and I just want to put a knot in the end like so. Now I'm going to just do a cross to start with, just so that I've got some thread to see what I'm doing. So we will come down, the hole. It's just like sewing a button on once you get it going. And then the hole is there. So, okay. So there we go. You see, I've just done a little cross. That is where our button is going to be sewn in. So I'm going to come back up this one. And we're going to start, make sure the button's that way, isn't it? So we're going along here, across, and down on this one. There we go. I thought about just sticking it on, but I really wanted to make sure I got this nice and secure. Okay, so let's, now we've just got to come up the holes. Might be easier if I do it this way. That way, yep, there we go. And across. I'm not making any new holes, I'm literally just coming up those ones that we pierced. And I'm just going to do this a few times. I can find this one. Where are we? Ah, can't find that hole. No, that one, there we go. Got it. Back across. Let's find this one, that's it. Where's the hole? There it is. And that, I think, is enough on there to secure it. Okay, so I'm just going to knot it off. Pull my thread through. You're not going to see this anyway, because as I said, it's going to be covered up, and I will put a dot over this anyway just to knot it off and then cut it. And that is our button closure, all nicely secure. So let's just, I can use Fabri-Tac glue for this. It just helps, I find, just a bit of extra protection all over that, and then I just push that all down. Now, because it's Fabri-Tac glue, I'm going to have to hold it for a little bit longer than I am the hot glue gun. How are we doing for time? Half an hour. Yeah, it does take quite a while. It took me a good chunk of the time yesterday to figure all that out, how I was going to do it and do these bits and everything. I think with it, no, it's starting to come back up again. I might have to switch the hot glue gun on and do the hot glue gun if this doesn't stick. Yeah, it's getting there. Hot glue gun is much quicker. So that is the second stage of our journal, and that's the cover. I'm not going to pull on it or anything yet because I want this bit to completely dry. This keeps, yeah, it looks like it is coming. I'm going to do the hot glue gun. It won't take long to heat back up again, and I'll put the hot glue gun on there, I think. Okay, so while I'm waiting for that, what we need to do next is cover our panels, which is straightforward, nice and easy. I'll do the back one first so I can show you how I covered the flap in fabric, because I need to cover it, sew around it, put it together, and then before we stick it in, I need to work out the these bits, the coin closure. They call that a coin envelope closure. So let's move that one over there, and we're going to work on here. Now I've already decided the patterning, and I am going to do this second journal exactly the same as that one, because as I said, I'm keeping one of the journals, and then I'll probably put the other one for sale in my Etsy shop. So this is one of the background pages that you get from Rach and Bella's side of the kit. Yeah, Rach and Bella's side of the garden story kit, and I just thought it's nice, it's neutral, but I love all the leaves and everything. So I'm just going to put this on here and glue that down. I think I might need another glue gun, another glue stick. I've got one here. There's still a bit in the top. Okay, so that bit's going to cover that, and then this is going to go on here and cover that. Okay. So that's what we're going to do next, but I want to put, I think there might be enough, it might be hot enough now just to put some glue all on here, and that will stick down better. Yeah, I can feel it's already there. Lovely. So much quicker. Brilliant. There, should have used hot glue gun in the first place. So that's our closure. So let's move you. I'm going to switch the glue gun off again because I don't need it for this bit. We'll bring our flaps in. So I've also, for my own purpose as well, I labelled them back. The other one says front, and any front flaps, like that one's got back envelope flap. It just, me personally, it helps me to know where I'm at and what bit's what, just in case they get detached and lost. I'm just going to use good old glue stick. Oops. I do find this card, because it's just some thick craft card that I use, chews up the stick quite a bit. Let's move those bits out, and then I'm just going to put it all slap bang in the middle, because I'm going to miter the edge and fold it all over. So, bits of thread stuck to me now. Okay. Smooth that. Oops. Smooth that out. Lovely. So all I need to do now is just cut my little corners, and then we can flap them over. And as you can see, I didn't get it centre in the page. Doesn't really matter. I mean, you could use scrapbooking card for this. That way you wouldn't need to cover it or anything. You could do all sorts. But I just find it finishes it off nicely doing it this way. Right. Let's glue these down. my glue over. And then these. And this one. There we go. And a bit of paper hanging over there. Snip that. So that, there's a little bit here as well, is our back board that's going to sit in here nicely. And then having that over the top of that makes that really smooth for when things go in the journal. There's going to be a bit of a lump, yes there is. You're always going to get that because you're going to have this thickness of material, but I've smoothed it over as best as we can. That's going to go in here. Brilliant. So that, leave that to dry for a bit, because then we can ink around it, and then I will need to sew it. So what I want to do first is just ink this edge along here. I'm just looking to see. Yeah, because we just covered it in fabric, we didn't do anything else, and just in case any of the cards showed through, I want to just give that a good old ink along here, because that's the only bit you're really going to see. Okay, now the inside, I think I used, is this big enough? Yeah, it is. And I folded it over, didn't I? Yeah, I remember now how I did it. Okay, if I just show this, the inside of this is covered as well, so that it all looks nice. So that's what we do first before I do the fabric, is to cover the inside. And I'm going to use the same material, and this is the inside bit, so I just flatten that a little bit, and we just want to glue it. So it doesn't matter that that's not quite to the edge there, because you're not going to see all of this. It's going to be behind the back panel. Okay. So now I want to snip out that triangle. Snip out that bit. Snip out that. So that's how I've done that, so that they all fold over onto each other. Let's get a new glue page. Okay. Cards down. Flaps over there. Go quiet when I'm concentrating doing these. That material. I think it's stuck to me. So there we go. That's going to be the inside. So give that a moment to dry. This should be, still feels a little damp, but it's dry enough at least we can ink it. Now I'm using walnut stain because it's nice and dark and grungy. Looks like it's going to be another lovely sunny day today. It's a bit of a cool breeze, but another sunny day. There, that's looking lovely. So that is what's going to go in here. Lovely. Okay, so are we able to fold that? Yeah, not too bad. Okay, put it that way. So let's give this a bit of an ink as well before we then stick the fabric on the outside. And I'm just going to do down the crease. Like so. So that one's ready. We now just need to stick on our fabric. Now, which was the straighter edge? This, but it's not quite. I need to just straighten that edge up. I think, yeah, that's a bit straighter. Now, I can give it a bit of a fray, because as you guys know, I do love to see a bit of a frayed edge. Okay. So that's going to go on there. This is the straighter of the two edges, so I'm going to have that like there, and then we can cut off what we don't need. Okay, so we turn it over and we want to line it up this way. Do we line it up that way, or is it going to be easier to line it up? I think it might be easier to line it up this way actually. Makes no odds which way it goes. Yep, okay. So I need to put Fabri-Tac glue all over this. Okay, I think that's more than enough on there. I'm just going to bring it down so I can see what I'm doing. There. Flatten that out. Okay. So let's cut this off. We don't need this. I'm going quite close, but then just using my finger to create a nice little ruffle. Oh, I've got another thread that's coming off there. Okay. So do the same again here. And this will just fray nicely there. We don't need all of this, but I'm going to leave a bit of a gap because I want a nice little frayed bit along here. There we go. And then we're just going to trim nice and close to this edge. Because we're where we fold over, I don't want too much there to get in the way. That's all stuck down nicely. And that is our flap. That's going to go on here. And open up. Brilliant. Put the lid on my Fabri-Tac glue. So with that down there, that goes in there. And that, yeah, it's going to go there. So what I want to do, let's see how we're doing for time. About 53. Let's see if we can just do, although I would prefer to stitch around it first before those eyelets are. So yeah, I need to stitch around these. So I'm going to cover these. Let me just show you what I'm going to use. I'm going to do exactly the same as I've done here. I'm going to use that material on here and that material on the inside. I'm going to do the same with the belly band. Probably have a different pocket. See which flowers I've got here. These are, I think they're still Rach and Bella ones. I'm not sure. And I know this is Angela Kerr's one. And then this had Kindness Grows Here and that lovely image, and then I've got Gardening Training, and that's what's going to go on the front of the other one. So I'm going to get that all done, stitched but not glued down, because I want to show you how I do this, and I need to do this before we glue the pockets in place. So I will go ahead and finish off the collage for this front panel, stitch around it, and then I will be back next Monday and we can carry on and get this cover finished, and then we can start on our signatures as well. We can start pulling out the pages from this gorgeous kit or kits and seeing what we want to put together. So thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it gives you some ideas to try things, even if you think, oh, but I can't punch a hole there and everything. Do have a go, because this has worked out really, really nicely. I love how that will just loop over there. I mean, time you get your journal in, that's going to be nice and chunky in here like this, and as you can see, it's really strong now. So yeah, thank you very much for tuning in to another video, and I will be back with some more crafting adventures. Take care everyone. Bye.